Hola, welcome to Flipgrid for chapter 14. Chapter 14 is spread over 2 weeks. So there are going to be 2 Flipgrids for this chapter. This will be the first one. We're going to cover the future and the conditional tense. We're taking a tiny reprieve for a minute from the subjunctive, yay, to learn 2 new verb tenses. The future and the conditional are actually really similar, which is why we teach them together, kind of in the same lesson. So you'll see what I mean by that. What I'm referring to is the conjugations in the future and the conditional are really similar. So let's talk about the future first. So we have been able to talk about things that are going to happen in the future by using the ir plus a plus infinitive form. So instead of saying I will run, I am going to go running. So we've been doing that for a while, actually, using the ir. We conjugate ir, voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van, and then use a plus a verb. Voy a viajar a Chile este verano. And that sounds like I am going to travel to Chile this summer. The future tense in English is like putting will before the verb. I will travel. I will run. She will have. We will talk. So it sounds like this. Hablaré con ella esta noche. I will talk with her tonight. So that's the difference. You've already been using the going to verb, and now you're going to be able to say I will verb, or she will verb, we will verb. So here's how you form the future tense. This is different than, oops, lo siento, anything we've done up to this point, because, hear me now, open up your ears, we do not drop the AR, ER, or IR ending off the verb like we've done in everything that we've conjugated so far. So for the future tense, and you'll see also for the conditional tense, you leave the verb whole. You don't drop anything off of it. And, so that's kind of cool. The second piece of good news is that all of the endings, AR, ER, and IR verb endings are the same. So they all kinds of verbs, all will take these endings. E, as, a, hemos, ellos, han. There's an accent on everything except the nosotros form. So again, it doesn't matter if it's an AR, ER, or IR verb, doesn't matter if it's reflexive verb, doesn't matter if it has stem changes, it doesn't matter. It's always going to take that set of endings. E, as, a, hemos, ellos, han. So for the verb viajar, the future tense would sound like this. Yo viajaré, tú viajarás, él, ella, usted viajará, nosotros viajaremos, vosotros viajaréis, ellos, ellas, ustedes viajarán. Okay, and I'm not going to go through all these. You can see how on this slide there's an AR, ER, and IR verb, a reflexive verb, and they all take the same endings. Do not drop anything off the verb. We have this set of irregulars. They should look familiar, maybe bringing back some PTSD from the preterite tense irregulars back in chapter 7 of Spanish 122. But anyway, I called them pizza verbs if you took Spanish 122 with me, but these are the irregulars also in the future and the conditional. So you know them as irregular verbs. Hey guys, we know you're irregular. The endings are the same, so it's not weird like pizza endings, but you are going to change the stem. So decir becomes dir, dire, dirás, dirá, diremos, diréis, dirán. Hacer becomes ar, are, harás, hará, haremos, haréis, harán. Poder becomes podré, podrás, podrá, podremos, podréis, podrán. Poner becomes pondrá, querer, querrá, saber, sabrá, salir, saldrá, tener, tendrá, and venir, vendrá. I'll give you a little spoiler alert right now. Yeah, these suck a little, having to learn that they change their stem, but they will do double duty. So they're this way for the future tense, and then they're also like this for the conditional tense. So it's a good investment of your time, I guess, to learn how the spelling changes here. So that's what those are. So let's, oh, the future tense of I is habrá, and that's good. That's a good little tidbit of information. Uh-oh. Okay, I think I accidentally paused my sharing, but it should be unpaused. Hopefully you see my screen. I becomes habrá in the future. So instead of saying there are like hay dos perros, habrá dos perros. There will be 2 dogs. Okie dokie. So let's talk about what else we can do by using the future tense. Obviously, we can state what will happen or what will be. So los candidatos llegarán a Santiago a las 11 de la mañana el 24 de julio. The candidates will arrive. By the way, this chapter is all about politics, a road I don't even want to think about going down right now, especially with our current situation. But anyway, that's what we have to look forward to in our conversation topics. Al día siguiente subirán el autobús y saldrán para las otras ciudades. They will get on the bus, they will leave for the other cities. Okay, so that's just plain old, here's what's going to happen in the future. There is something else that we can use the future tense to do, and that's kind of using it to speculate or say probably, I would imagine something will happen, either taking place at the moment or that will likely occur sometime in the future. So it's kind of like I wonder or probably. It sounds kind of, it has that kind of feel to it. ¿Qué tiempo hará en Santiago? I wonder what the weather will be like. I wonder what the weather is right now, or I wonder what the weather will be like in Santiago. Estará 35 grados. It's probably about 35 degrees. So this is kind of an idiomatic use of the future tense. So it's not only allowing us to say what will definitely happen, but it's also kind of got that feeling of wonder or guessing, speculation about what's happening or what will happen. As far as the intent, like if it's the same exact statement, it's all about inflection of your voice. ¿Qué tiempo hará en Santiago? ¿Qué tiempo hará en Santiago? ¿Qué tiempo hará? Estará 35 grados. It's probably 35 degrees. Instead of it will be 35 degrees. It's all about the inflection in your voice. So, piensa en un plan para tus próximas vacaciones. Es un sueño para todos nosotros ahora pensar en una vacación, porque estamos cerrados en casa. Ahora es un sueño. Estas preguntas aquí, these questions here are all asked in the ir plus a plus verb form. So, ¿a dónde vas a ir? ¿Por qué quieres ir allá? ¿Cuánto tiempo vas a estar? ¿Quién va a ir contigo? ¿Qué vas a hacer allá? Please note that I asked all the questions in the ir plus a plus infinitive form, but I want you to answer in the future tense. Contesten en el futuro. So, for example, the first question, ¿a dónde vas a ir? Where are you going? I do not want you to say, voy a ir a España. I want to hear you put ir into the future tense. Iré a España. And then, ¿por qué quieres ir allá? Yo quiero ir a España porque pues hablan español, es un país muy bonito. ¿Cuánto tiempo vas a estar allá? Yo estaré en España por 2 semanas. Okay, so I want all of the questions answered in the future tense. You do not need to answer all, 8 questions that are there. Just give me a general idea of who you're going, why you're going, where you're going, with who, and why, what you're gonna do. Okie dokie. Moving on to the conditional. Oops, did I skip? Oh, we're gonna talk about the conditional tense. My slides are out of order, I apologize. Let's talk about, first of all, what is the conditional tense, because it's not necessarily obvious with the name conditional. Conditional is what you would do. So putting what you or anybody would do, putting would before a verb. I would go to the store if I could. She would prefer to eat chocolate. We would have a party. They would drive to Florida. Okay, so it's would before a verb. It's conditional, what somebody would do. Just like the future tense, like I promised a few minutes ago, forming the conditional follows kind of the same rules. First of all, don't drop anything off the verb. Keep the verb whole. And you're going to add the same endings for all kinds of verbs, AR, ER, IR, reflexive, what have you. The endings are the same across the board, and they are ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. Accent on every single I that is there. Okay, so that's a little easier to remember. No exceptions to an accent over the I. If you wanted to conjugate viajar, it would sound like this. Viajaría, viajarías, viajaría, viajaríamos, viajaríais, and viajarían. Pay attention not just to where the accent is over the I, but also how it changes how we pronounce these words, especially the ones that are longer, like viajaríamos. It's not viajaríamos, it's viajaríamos. And it's not viajaríais, it's viajaríais. Where that accent is on that I, that's the syllable that receives the emphasis, viajarían. These verbs end up being kind of long because you're not dropping any sort of ending off the end of them before you add the new endings. So make sure that the I gets accented when you pronounce it. Vivería, viverías, volveríamos, volverían. Okay, and that would be like I would travel, she would travel, they would travel. I would live, you would live, she would live, we would live. So just would before the verb, that's what the conditional is. So, okay. Here are that same set of verbs again. I promise that would be the same in the future in the conditional. They have the same irregulars. The endings are the same, just like they were in the future tense. And the stem changes are the same. So decir to dir, hacer to ar, poder pod. That's the same for future and conditional. The future endings are the same. The conditional endings are the same as the regulars. So like I said, it's a good investment of your time. It's worth your time to learn those irregulars. And then the conditional tense of I is habría, there would be. So I, habrás, habría. Decir would be diría, dirías, diría, diríamos, diríais, dirían. Hacer, haría, harías, haría, haríamos, haríais, harían. Okay, so now let me flip back to, I know my slides are out of order. Again, I apologize for that. We can also use the conditional tense to express conjecture or probability. So again, kind of like the future tense, they both serve this dual purpose. They have their straightforward intent, like the future is will and the conditional is would, but they both have this idiomatic use of like expressing probability, conjecture, speculation. So to express hypothetical ideas, we would use the word would followed by a verb. I would travel if I had the time and money. In Spanish, we're going to use the conditional tense paired with the subjunctive, next chapter, to say what we would do. So, me gustaría viajar a Latinoamérica if this were to happen, and that's what's coming up later. But me gustaría is the conditional tense. Me gustaría viajar. Okay, ¿a qué hora dijo Marina que saldría para Quito? What time did she say she would leave? Dijo que lo sabría después de llamar al aeropuerto. She said she would know, sabría, she would know, después de llamar al aeropuerto, after calling the airport. To express what would happen in a particular situation, giving a particular set of circumstances. So, ¿qué harías con $1,000? What would you do with $1,000? Yo viajaría a Latinoamérica. I would travel to Latin America. I might. If I could, I would. So, haría, harías, viajaría. To express hypothetical or contrary to fact statements about what happened in particular circumstances or under certain conditions must be paired with the past subjunctive. So like I said, we're going to talk about this a lot more in chapter 15, but this is that if only kind of situation. So si tuviéramos el dinero, iríamos a Santiago. If we had the money, we would go to Santiago. So that dependent clause, if we had the money, ... that's actually in the past subjunctive, which we haven't learned yet. We're learning it next chapter. Anyway, to soften a request or express politeness and or respect. And I talk to my kids, my own children, about this one all the time. Like when you order in a restaurant, you don't say, yo quiero un taco, right? You say, yo quería, I would like. ¿Podrías ayudarme con la lectura para mañana? Could you help me or would you help me with the reading for tomorrow? Or ¿querría usted ir con nosotros al museo? Would you like? Not quiere usted. Do you want? Hey, you want to come? ¿Querría usted? Would you like to come to the museum with us? So using the conditional for that as well. And again, to speculate about actions, conditions, and events. So it also can carry the meaning of I wonder and probably, exactly like we just talked about in the future tense. ¿Qué tiempo haría en Santiago? I wonder what the weather is doing in Santiago or was doing in Santiago. Estaría 35 grados. It was probably 35 degrees. So the big difference here is we use the future to speculate or wonder about what's happening now or will happen in the future. We use the conditional to speculate about what was happening or already happened in the past. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. In the past, conditional. All right, so aquí están sus preguntas. ¿Qué harías con $1 million? I know earlier in my examples I asked about $1,000. $1,000 won't actually get you too much anymore these days. Pero con $1 millón, este es el número millón, a million. ¿Qué harías? You are not necessarily going to need to use the word haría in your answer. Okay, just take whatever verb, maybe comprar, yo compraría, or maybe ir, yo iría. Maybe you would quit. Like I might quit working. Yo dejaría. Probably don't have enough money to quit working for the rest of my life with $1 million. But anyway, I like my job, so that was a bad example for me. Anyway, whatever verb you would do with $1 million, take that verb and put it into the conditional. Yo compraría, yo viajaría, yo dejaría. I don't know. Para ti sería difícil vivir sin qué? Para mí sería imposible. Difícil no, sería imposible vivir sin mi café en la mañana. Sería difícil vivir sin amigos y mi teléfono, desafortunadamente. Es muy triste, pero sería muy difícil vivir sin un teléfono inteligente. ¿Cuál es algo que nunca harías? This is like never would I ever, except be real. Like, what would you never do? Yo nunca comería insectos. Yo nunca comería insectos. ¿Cómo le gustaría pasar la vacación de tus sueños? Okay, so this last question is a little bit redundant with the questions you answered in the first part for the future vacation plan. So no need to answer that last question if you don't want, but the first three, sí, por favor, contéstamelas in the conditional. All right, so next week I will have the rest of chapter 14 in a Flipgrid for you. It's going to be short because there's only one little thing to talk about, but I look forward to hearing your answers. Hopefully everyone is well. I am enjoying all of your Flipgrids and your capstones so much. I love learning about all of you guys. It is my joy. So keep it coming, keep up the good work. Hang in there, and I will see you soon. Adios.